Hello, hello, hello. This is Kathy of kathysright.com and welcome. I hope you've subscribed to my show and listened to me often because things are changing in this world and some of them changes are bad and some of them may be good. But today we're going to talk about something a little bit different. I'm going to talk about some pet peeves that I have and many people have the same ones. Pet peeves on social media. These are things that people do to one another that frankly annoy the heck out of me. And I'm sure I'm not the only one. When I do social media, it is an art form at this point. I've been doing it for a while for fun, for entertainment. I use it for a lot of different reasons, but when I go on Facebook, mostly I'm there for information, but fun is the most important part for me. I enjoy reading, I enjoy writing, I enjoy conversing with people. And in today's day, with social distancing, this is going to become more and more important for all of us. One of my pet peeves that I would like to bring up is when you post something that you just found on someone else's timeline. It could be an article, it could be a meme, it could be just something that they said that you thought was clever, and you repost it on your own timeline. And most people get it. They'll respond or click the like. They get that. But there's always that one, what I like to call buzzkill or buzz killers. Buzz killers, you'll put something out there on the timeline. Everybody knows I'm not a reporter. Everybody knows that. I'm not even trying to be a reporter. I'm an opinion writer. I write about opinions. And so when I post something that I just got off of someone else's timeline, there's always some buzz killer that'll say, source, like I have to show a source. Now, I remember when I was in college and in high school, and we would write essays, and we had to do a bibliography in the back of those essays and papers. And that's where you got your sources. That's where you tell your teacher, your professor, where you got this information. On Facebook, when there are people who have no authority over you, or me, or I, when they say things like, I need to see a source, they're acting as though they're your teacher or your boss of some kind. And I'm not about to start copying and pasting to prove something that might not have even been my own statement. I'm not going to do it. And I thought about that because it happens often enough, and I'm always thinking, why do people do that? Do they think I'm just going to stop my day and go Google everything to back up a said article or statement or meme so that they'll be satisfied somehow? Do they think that's the relationship we have? I hardly know these people. They are Facebook friends, some of which I'm closer to than others, but certainly I'm not going to go do homework. Google that shit. Just Google it. I don't think you're that person, but I know you've known somebody who was that person. Don't be that person. I hope I'm not that person. I don't remember ever asking somebody, what's your source? That pet peeve. Or, will you please post a link? You Google that. I'm not going to post a link for you. I've got other things to do. So if anybody has that same feeling as I do, chime in and just push the comment so I'll know I'm not alone in this, because it drives me crazy. I mean, it's not that I can't substantiate what I say, but I don't have to. And I don't want to. And it's not required of me by anyone. Unless you're going to pay me money or give me a grade in college credits, I'm not about doing that. So I'm not trying to be unfriendly, but that pet peeve really bothers me. When they ask for a link, 1, when they ask for a source, 2, or if they ask for a link, 3, when they ask for the validity of a meme. I'm serious. It's just a meme. Memes are meant to be sometimes funny, most of them, but you don't have to validate a meme. But yeah, people have asked me to validate a meme. It's a joke. I've even had Facebook put me in Facebook jail for 24 hours because my meme was not factual. And I didn't even make the meme. It came off of somebody else's timeline. But I get what's happening now because, I asked them, well, why didn't you, flag that person before me? And they'll tell me via email, they'll tell me that, oh, that person wasn't reported. Oh, I get it. So I'm getting reported, but the person who posted it at first isn't getting reported, which I don't care. I don't really care if somebody gets, reports, but to shut you down because of it, that's rude. But then I realized, how that was happening. I was in a bunch of groups where you have discussions, say with liberals, or most of the time it'll be young people, early 20s, college students, the ones, the social justice warriors, and you might be arguing with them. Well, guess what? If you win the argument, they report you to Facebook, and Facebook will always be on their side because Facebook is the same thing as them, liberal. And that's the problem. So after being in Facebook jail, I think I talked about this last week, I decided I'm not going to make friends anymore on Facebook with liberals just so they can turn me in if they don't like what I have to say. Just not going to do it. I'm too old. I'm not going to do it. But those kind of things just bug the crap out of me. And they ask for a link of validity of a freaking meme. And okay, another thing that bugs me. When I post a meme or you post a meme or anybody posts a meme and it's supposed to be funny and all your friends are responding and they're saying, oh, haha, it's funny. Oh, that's a good one. And there's always that one buzz killer that says, but Kathy, really, if you do so and so and so and so. Oh, so everybody has to stop laughing now because this person has taken upon themselves to cut the joke short. Well, that's rude. It would be rude if we were sitting in the same room. If you're telling a joke, let a joke be a joke and let people laugh and have a great day. Why go through the problem and the trouble of ruining somebody's day or even moment? I mean, treat people the way you want to be treated. That's my motto, one of them. I have a lot of mottos. My mom always says, treat people the way you want them to treat you. And I always do that. But when somebody does that to me, I feel like I'm not in a place to lecture them. I'm just wondering, am I the only one that gets driven crazy by this kind of social media behavior? Just have a laugh and let other people laugh. I love a good laugh. In these times, we really need as much laughter as we can possibly get. Have a joke, laugh. If you don't get the humor, just move on. No need to even comment. But you guys get it. You get most of my humor. Most of the people that listen to my show are also Facebook followers or Facebook friends. And I love that. But if you can't say anything positive, don't say anything at all. Because I'm not on this earth to argue with anybody. And I'm not probably going to convert anybody from the left to the right. I think the lines have been drawn. And I think at this point, we've come to a parting of the ways. And yet we are having to pick a side. Because it's not a time to be wishy-washy. We have a country to save. So buzz killers, leave people alone. My social media friends do not work for you, and nor do I. And finally, the fact checkers themselves. The fact checkers, I posted a post today saying what I really think. I think that all fact checkers are liberals. And within moments, I got 99 likes because a lot of people say, oh, yeah, absolutely. Because I don't see people on the liberal side getting Facebook jailed. I go and check some of my friends from high school and whatnot and check on their timeline and see, do they have any of these flags? Do they have, issues with Facebook? Never. They can say foul things and they do not get into any kind of trouble. Why? Because we conservatives don't bust them. We don't go and say, oh, that was rude. I'm reporting you. No, that's something liberals do. So I've just decided that from now on, when I make new friends, I'm not going to even bother with the liberals at this point. I know that we're supposed to all live together, blah, blah, blah. Well, we are all living together, and look what that got us. Coronavirus. Now nobody can touch each other. So we are miles apart mentally, we are miles apart socially, and we are miles apart philosophically. So fact checkers are liberals, and they're the ones that are flagging us. I think it's really obvious to most people. The ones that I know, all the best people go to Facebook jail. On another subject, I think it is diabolical what Nancy Pelosi and the Democrats are doing in Congress. It's as if they are actually working on behalf of Satan. Yeah, I said it, Satan. They are working for Satan. It's not right to leave a financially starving nation hanging at the mercy of the Democratic Party while they vote time and time again for a stimulus package that would help each individual citizen of these United States of America during a very, very trying time. People don't know if they're going to get another paycheck at some places. People are out of work that didn't expect it. Things were humming along, and then this virus hit, and it came from China. And I have to think that I think partly I think it's on purpose. And I'm just being honest. But then again, the Democratic Party doesn't care if we're starving financially or in any other way, because basically they are the party of death, destruction, and chaos. Death. They're obsessed with abortion and keeping it as a religious altar, if you will, to the evil that they sacrifice. Human, small beings in order to do evil. They do evil so they can go and do more evil. Small human beings are being killed as though they were sacrificial babies, all for the altar of sexual promiscuity, so they can keep going out and having sex with anybody they want. I've met women that or boast about having 8 or 9 abortions. They couldn't remember how many. So we are far, far away from what they promised. They said, oh, safe and rare. It's far from either right now. It never will be right. But they're obsessed with abortion. It's like if you don't dare touch that abortion thing. That's why they're cheating and lying and doing everything they can do in these elections, because that's their holy altar, the abortions. And it's sick and evil. They just want to stay promiscuous. And then there's the destruction. The left destroys everything they touch. Their policies and programs have dismantled families, Boy Scouts, and soon the Girl Scouts will be gone. Now they've joined forces with Planned Parenthood, so I don't know. They may survive. If they don't get their way, they also destroy public property. They tear down statues, which are works of art in my book. And they also really hate our American flag. These are things that are destructive to our society. We will get through this crisis. Right now, the Democrats say out loud on the TV, like Rahm Emanuel, never let a crisis go to waste. He was just on The View the other day, and they were grinning from ear to ear to have him on there. They were all on split screen because they're not to come near one another. They grinned while they talked about this crisis. Their faces only turned sour when they brought up Trump, but their faces clearly expressed almost a glee at the sabotage of the possibility of average Americans getting bailed out. Now, it was one thing, they were glad to have credit card companies get bailed out to save the country. But now, average Joes, hourly people who work hourly and depend on the hourly pay, they don't care about us. They don't have to. They don't work hourly. Not on The View. They get millions of dollars to get up there and tell us how pathetic their lives are. Oh, so I'm so put upon because I'm black. Yeah, $1 million black. I'd like to be black like that, but I wouldn't want to be a liberal to do it. But I'm glad that we have President Trump at the helm during this crisis. Can you imagine what it would have been like with Hillary Clinton? Can you even imagine what it would be like with Joe Biden? Speaking of Joe Biden, I have to say, if I didn't have so much disdain for the Democratic Party, I would feel sorry for them. Because that's all they got is Joe Biden. And another thing that I notice when I go and look at other people who I know are liberal, when I go look at their timelines, what I don't see is just as important as what I do see. But what I don't see is anybody extolling the virtues of Joe Biden. They're not excited about Joe Biden. You'll hear a quip here and there. You'll see something that says, yeah, and Joe Biden just, did this. But they don't talk about his gaffes. They don't talk about his policies. They don't talk about him as vice president and what a great vice president he was, because he wasn't. They don't talk about him. If they're not talking about you, Joe, then they're not going to get their asses off the sofa and go vote for you. How about that? They're not going to do it because they're not excited about you. They weren't excited about Elizabeth Warren. They weren't excited about Yang or Wang. They weren't excited. And that's the problem with the Democratic Party. Eventually, there's no enthusiasm for death. I know you try to keep it up with those women's marches and the pussy hats, but in reality, nobody's excited about your abortions. You tried to get people all ripped up and stirred up at those marches that you had. They had to cancel the last 2 women's marches.